From Fox 26 Houston, active U.S. Marine allegedly stole $500,000 in jewelry heist. There's another story of arguably an even more brazen jewelry heist out of Oakland, California, I want to take a look at on the other side of this. And we know by now that the chaos in California is par for the course at this point, but I think it's worth rewatching anyways.
Only on Fox, a member of the United States Marine Corps.
Okay, this is, of course, a crazy story, but this is a weird fashion choice this woman has made. And as we know by now, the criminal politicians, the criminal regime, the criminal establishment will breed criminal residents, criminal citizens from corrupt DAs and lawyers, Marines in this case, all the way down to the run-of-the-mill, break into your car, Bay Area thieves.
Has been arrested and charged with several jewelry store heists after investigators say he stole more than $500,000 worth of expensive goods.
This is a what we term as a serial jewelry store burglar.
He's seen.
Absolutely, and he sounds like he got a little bit greedy. Well, there's also the story of these guys who got away with $30 million in Southern California, I believe, and then the New York Post runs a story like, oh, well, why it will never be solved. It's quite likely an inside job, and that's a little bit of a different story.
Here in surveillance footage.
As you can see in the photographs, he busts in with a sledgehammer,
smashing his way into David Yurman and Helzberg Diamonds at Houston Premium Outlet Mall. Precinct 4 Constable Mark Herman says the thief isn't only caught on camera, but now captured, arrested, and charged with 2 counts of first-degree felony theft.
So it appears as though they caught him, young guy, and while this is pretty despicable, they got him, and we can assume they're going to prosecute and put this person away, which likely will not happen in California.
Being taken into custody, his dog tags fell out. He did tell us he was in the U.S. military.
Marcelo Hernandez is just 18 years old.
18 years old in the military. So these are the guys. These are the people who are supposed to be, serving. Well, I guess police are meant to serve and protect, but a Marine, right? Like that's arguably the toughest branch of the armed forces.
Investigators say Hernandez would wear black and burst into these stores overnight when they were closed. Constable Herman says Yurman was hit days after the young Marine returned to town.
It actually just recently finished his boot camp in the Marine Corps about a week before one of our cases.
When the teenager was arrested, Constable Herman says this is what was found in his car: 3 handguns, $500,000 worth of jewelry, including diamonds and other precious stones, and $11,000 in cash.
Just the police instinct and our investigators feel that this guy is involved in more than just being a serial burglar at night.
Yeah, that's quite likely, right? I mean, with everything from the problem of graffiti to the people skipping the fare on the trains, it's always going to, I guess my point is it's very rare that somebody just does one thing and that's it. There's always a pattern here, unless they get caught the first time, but with $11,000 in cash and a whole bunch of jewelry, it's probably not his first time.
With jewelry stores, because some of the evidence we saw when we arrested him indicates he's probably going to be involved in other crimes.
Hernandez is said to live in the Cypress area where the holdups happened.
It appears he still lives with his parents. I mean, this is an 18-year-old kid. I mean, he's got his entire life ahead of him. Why he would...
Yeah, so he should have done this. Well, he probably was doing this a year or two ago when he could only be charged as a minor. And B, we'll see that you got to take this to California, where you're much more likely, I don't know, to get away with this type of stuff.
Choose to take this direction or path, we don't know.
Precinct 4 is running analysis on the 3 handguns to see if they've been used to commit crime.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm no expert investigator, but yeah, they will run those prints or do those tests and probably find that he's done more than just rob these jewelry stores. And here's from ABC 7 News Bay Area, 8 armed suspects clear out Oakland Chinatown jewelry store in what they are calling an exclusive. I mean, it's just so brazen. They go in there, guns pointed at the lady, start smashing things with hammers. There's not even an inkling of trying to do this. I mean, you can't really do it smooth. Okay, fair enough. But point the gun, tell her to open the case. They go in there and just start smashing everything. And I'm pretty sure they're going to get away with it.
An Oakland business owner ducks for cover as thieves carry out one of the most brazen daytime armed robberies we've seen. Tonight.
And how is this still happening? Word is out. Everybody knows businesses are leaving, right? There's the political thugs who, shut businesses down and try to force in communism. And then there is the thugs, the run-of-the-mill citizenry who are going to destroy the businesses that have not or that were not destroyed by the heavy-handed governance surrounding Rona.
How this shocking crime, caught on camera, as you can see, could be the last straw for the store that's called Oakland home for 40 years. It's a story you'll see only on 7. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dan Ashley.
And I'm Dion Lim. That violent heist happened at one of Oakland China.
Dan, what's going on, bro? It looks like he's wearing a wig or something. He looks like Kramer and Jerry when the shower heads didn't work.
Jerry! Jerry! You too, huh? Yeah!
The town's oldest jewelry stores. The damage done is simply remarkable. But
and I just did another video or read another story about how amazing Oakland is. Fine, fair enough for the weirdo propagandist, but they were saying, "Oh, go check out Chinatown. It's one of the oldest." And I literally in that video said, "Go to Oakland's Chinatown right now and you are not going to be impressed." And here we are.
despite all of this, the store owner says their vow to keep it open is stronger than ever, and they're pledging to move forward in the wake of this crime. The chaos and terror that unfolded at Fung Jewelry in Oakland's Chinatown Wednesday just after noon.
It happened so fast.
Is unlike anything the family-owned business has ever experienced in their more than 40 years in operation.
This is absolutely insane. So even with every day, every other day, if you wanted to put it nice, we know about the crime happening in Oakland, and they're still doing it, right? There is no deterrent. They know they're going to get away with this. I mean, this would have been wild a year or two, even, 3 or 4 years ago. But now we all know, and they just don't care.
We've been robbed, a few times before, but not at this level of brazen magnitude. 8 individuals with, 2 getaway cars and, guns drawn.
Watch as Tony Trin's 69-year-old mother Diane ducks for...
And then where do they go? I mean, I don't know how much they got away with. Maybe they'll tell us. I haven't seen this video yet, but okay. This is a highly publicized, brazen robbery. It's been all over social media. Where are you have a buyer set up? Where are you going to take all this stuff? Everybody knows it's hot. But I guess in California, they do not care. They literally don't care where it came from.
For cover and screams for help as those 8 individuals smash nearly every single case. With no security guard on duty at the time, her 76-year-old husband comes storming in, wielding a firearm, which scares the suspects away.
Okay, and we do know that any jewelry store, arguably in the entire world, they have to have at least one firearm, especially in Oakland. So they ran off after breaking a whole bunch of the glass, but what did they get? For 8 guys?
He didn't do that, then they would have just kept going.
Their American dream and the majority of the store...
At least like 85%, 90%.
Gone in less than a minute.
My mom was, devastated. My dad was broken.
A devastating blow made worse after the family let their business insurance lapse due to rising premiums.
Insurance... They're not paying for insurance because it costs too much, but we're constantly told from this very same outlet that insurance companies are fleeing California with most of the rational, sane Californians because of climate change, not because of constant crime and the fact that 911 doesn't even work. So you basically get You open yourself up to an entirely new sect of criminal, right? So you can just claim that something was stolen from you, but you couldn't report it because 911 doesn't work. It's an absolute nightmare. It is a mess. I realize the term is highly overused, but it is a dystopian wasteland.
Her entire life's work, savings, gone in a few minutes. But it is rough. My mom is the leader of the pack, and she's been running the business. As she suffers, I kind of suffer through the same pain.
Crime in the area is what prompted Tony to become executive director of the Oakland Chinatown Improvement Council.
Oh, the Oakland Chinatown Improvement Council. Yeah, that'll do it.
Despite what happened, he remains optimistic.
I've seen tremendous progress, even though it doesn't feel like that, in terms of cleaning.
Wait, you've seen tremendous progress, but it doesn't feel like that. As your own store gets broken into, so what would it feel like if you could feel the progress, right? So, oh yeah, I can see it, I know it's happening, but it doesn't feel like it. So what would it feel like? Would it feel like a regular place, a regular city, almost anywhere outside of California or New York, if there were actual these people are lying to themselves.
And safety ambassadors, there's a lot more out there with the night patrols and
safety ambassadors, and they will do anything. They will to any lengths twist themselves into a pretzel to say, well, it's not the cops. There was the other clip I constantly refer to when the ODs in San Francisco went down just a little bit after they reached an all-time high, and then they had the nerve in the news clip to say, well, the ODs have decreased, which coincided with more law enforcement on the street, but city officials say it's too early to tell if that's why. So they put more law enforcement on the street to combat the crime. It apparently started to work, and then they came out and said, well, we're not exactly sure why.
The downward trend roughly coincides with the increased federal, state, and local law enforcement crackdown in the city. City officials say it's too early to attribute the trend to increased enforcement.
And then this guy says, oh, there's progress, even though it doesn't feel like it. I would beg to differ.
And we have our walking police officers. During the pandemic, we didn't.
But is he optimistic enough to stay in business?
Would love to. It's just with the environment and how tough it's been. We don't know yet.
Okay. So there's been so much progress, but even though you don't feel that way, and my store has gotten robbed multiple times, this one's so brazen that you're now going to be out of business, when of course you should go to Texas and the Texas Marine should go to California and just swap places. And really, we've all said it, just let the entire state float off into the Pacific, send the criminals to an island. There's no coming back. It's already done. It's circling the drain. Somebody wants to pretend they're going to try to pull it out, but it's not going to happen. And you have a laundry list, by the way, of people, radicals, like weirdo radical leftists, identity politicians, I guess, who claim they're going to be governor after Newsom. And I can assure you, they are not going to help the state at all.
Diane says she'll be back to work tomorrow to send a greater message.
We can't let the fear overcome. The only way to reduce crime is actually to have more traffic, more events, more people, so that way we'll have more resources. Strong Oakland Chinatown is a strong town for every community, especially in Oakland.
Oakland police ask anyone with information on this case to contact the robbery division. Now, because Fong Jewelry does not have insurance coverage, the Oakland Chinatown Improvement Council is running a GoFundMe to help.
Okay, so they don't have insurance because of climate change, we're told. The cops have not found this guy, which leads me to say that the Texan should go to California and he would not be caught. And these, honest, I guess, business owners should go to Texas, and they can probably operate their business without fear of thugs who, of course, are emboldened by the political regime all the way down, like I said, from the Beau Biden himself, Kamala Harris, corrupt DAs, corrupt lawyers, all the way down to, the break into your car. I mean, in California, it's absolutely insane. eliminating police officers while they're trying to steal from a cannabis club, one of the few things that has actually gotten cheaper in the past 5 or so years. But of course, that's a different story. My point here is that it's a little bit ironic, and maybe this family and that Texas burglar should just switch places.